Hi there, welcome to Maniac Math with Mrs. Carell. Make sure you put your name at the top of your paper and next to your name where it says video number, write 5.1.1. Let's jump right into it. I want you to imagine that you had a yummy chocolate bar. Now, Hershey's makes chocolate bars, but they don't look like this. This is a square Hershey's chocolate bar. How many pieces is it cut into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's cut into 10 equal pieces. All right? 10 equal pieces. But all 10 pieces equaled the whole Hershey's candy bar. Okay, now you can see that I took that Hershey's candy bar and I changed it into a cartoon candy bar. Now you can see that this candy bar looks kind of different from our Hershey's over here. Hershey's candy bar split it down the middle and then split each side into 5 equal pieces. I didn't do that. I took mine and I took my Hershey's cartoon candy bar and I split it into 10 long skinny pieces, just like this. So each one of these pieces is 1/10 or 1 out of 10 total. So each one of these pieces of Hershey's candy bar is 1/10, 1 out of 10 total pieces. 1/10, just like that. And that is how we write 1/10. So right down here you can see this is how we write 1/10. When it comes to your slash mark here, it can either be horizontal, meaning straight across, or it could be diagonal like this, whichever way you feel comfortable with, but you need to be able to recognize it both ways. But guess what? There's another way of writing 1/10. It's like this, 0.1 or 1/10. Just like this. So each one of these pieces here is worth 1/10. It's just a different way of writing this fraction right here. So you can see over here I've split our cartoon candy bar into 10 equal pieces, and each one of those is worth 1/10. But remember, the other way of writing that is 0.1 or 0.1. So each one of these is 1/10, just written a different way. Right. So on your page, there is box number 1. You did not need to write anything yet. I should have told you that at the beginning of the video, but it's been a minute since I've been making those videos, so here we go. Number 1, we're going to take all 10 of these tenths. Remember, each piece is worth 1/10 or 1 out of 10 of the whole thing. And we're going to add up these tenths. Now here's how it goes with me. Anything inside the green box, you are responsible to copy. Out here, you do not have to draw a picture of a candy bar with all these numbers out here, but you are going to copy this section here. We're going to put 1/10 in decimals right here inside the box. Make sure you leave yourself enough room that you can write all 10 of these right here, because we're going to do a little addition. Make sure you get 10 of them. Let's see, I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me make my decimals just big enough to where we can see it, and we're going to add these up. So I have ones. Oh, that's pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, when you have an answer like 10, we don't just stick 10 down here. Remember, we put the 0 here and we take the 1 and put it up here. And I like to put mine just like that to remind me, add this in. Well, gee, it's nothing but zeros here. So all I have in this whole column is 1. Now here's the thing. See how all my decimals are lined up? I know they're not very straight, but all my decimals are lined up right there in the middle. That decimal just drops right down to the bottom. I have a question for you. How many tenths do I have? Well, I have 10 tenths, right? Can you see the number 10 right there? 10 tenths. But wait, 1.0. Isn't that just one? One whole. So 10 tenths equals one whole. 10 tenths equals one whole candy bar. Pretty cool, huh? So remember I told you whatever you see inside this green box, you need to put on your paper. So go ahead and pause the video and draw this. Now see how much space I've left down here? Try to leave yourself some space at the bottom so you can write a few things down. Come back when you're ready. Okay, if you have that drawn, then we're going to practice putting some numbers in here and reading them. All right, so I'm going to put this number, I like that great big fat decimal point. All right, we're just going to put this in here. We're going to put the 1 over here on this side, the left-hand side of the decimal. I'm going to put it right up here. And then I'm going to put the 3 up here. Leave yourself some space. So I'm going to kind of draw a little dotted line across here because we're going to do a couple of these. All right. Now, how would we read this? Well, when we have something in the 1 side, now you guys have been doing everything on this side of the decimal since you were in kindergarten. Well, now we're going to use this side of the decimal and that side of the decimal. So when you have something in the ones column, you're going to say 1, and when you get to the period, you say and. 1 and. Where does the number end? It ends in the tenths column, so we're going to say 1 and 3 tenths. How about this one? Let's put that one in. I'm going to make another dashed line across here, and I'm going to put a 0 here, because that's what I've got on this side of the decimal, and a 5 here. Now think to yourself, how do you think you would say this number? 0 and 5 tenths. 0 and 5 tenths. All right, let's do one more. All right, let's put this one in here. The 3 goes here. We have our period or dot, and we say and then we're going to put a 6 there. How would we say this number? Think it to yourself and see if you get it right. 3 and 6 tenths. Did you get it right? I'm going to try some harder ones, and I know I told you last time to leave some space down here and then I didn't use it. I'll use it this time. Go ahead and pause the video and draw this again. Come back when you're ready. All right, so let's try this right here. We're going to make a larger number. Well, a number with more digits, let's put it that way. Go ahead and write that up here. Remember to leave yourself some dashed lines so you can put more than one number in here. And we would put 0, 2, 6. Now you can put the dot right there if it helps you. But how would we say that? There's a 0 right here, so we don't really even have to say anything. We could say 0 and if we wanted to. But if you wanted to be more efficient, you don't really have to do that. You could just look at this number right here. That number by itself, ignore that decimals. That number right there is 26. Where does it end? Does it end in the tenths column? No, because there's still another digit out here. 26, it ends in the hundredths column. 26 hundredths. All right, how about this one? Let's go ahead and write that one in there. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Well, when we have a 0 in the front of anything, we usually just ignore it. But we do have an 8 out here. Just an 8. If you saw this standing around, you would just call that 8, because you ignore that when it's in front. So this is an 8, but where does it end? In the hundredths column, so we would say 8 hundredths. 8 hundredths. All right, one more. Let's put this one here, 0.50. How would you say that one? Think it in your head. Did you say 50 hundredths? If you did, you're correct. Now then, I'm going to do something, and I want you to listen. I just put 0 thousandths on there. I just put nothing in the thousandths column. So the value of this right here didn't change. How we would say it has changed, but how much it is has not changed. I could put nothing in the thousandths column. It hasn't changed. How much is here? But it just changes how we would say it. And we'll see that in the next one. I could put a 0 here. I just put nothing in the thousandths column. Doesn't change the value of it. It just changes how we say it. All right, on to the next one. Problem number 4. You need to be working in box number 4 on your paper. So, we've already read up to tenths, and we've read up to hundredths. What do you think we're going to do now? Thousandths. All right, let's start with this number right here. If you saw just that, what would you say it is? 456, right? All right, let's go ahead and write that in here. Leave yourself space. 456, since there's a decimal in front of it, we know it's going to have a TH at the end. THS. THS. All right, 456, where does it end? In the thousandths. So we would say 456 thousandths. How about this one? Ooh, that one looks tricky. You think you can get it? Put it in our boxes. If you just saw this wandering around on the streets, what would you call it? 79, right? All right, where does it end? 79 thousandths. Did you get that right? All right, one more. Ooh, that one's extra tricky. How would you say this? The only thing in the entire number is the digit 3. How would you say that? 3 thousandths. Okay, this is something you're probably a little bit familiar with, but you probably haven't done it much with decimals yet. So, pause the video and draw this. Now you have, this is the same thing we've had in the last several questions, but there's 2 sections of it. So you're going to have to draw kind of small. So go ahead and pause the video, draw this, come on back when you're ready. Go on to problem number 5. Remember our Hershey's candy bar from way in the beginning? Remember how it was cut into 10 pieces? They were long, skinny pieces in this case, but there were 10 equal pieces. Remember that? Can you see how big they are? All right. What if I took that candy bar and I cut it into 100 pieces? Which pieces are smaller? The hundredths or the tenths? The tenths are bigger, aren't they? The hundredths are even smaller. How big do you think the pieces would be if I cut this candy bar into 1,000 pieces? Would it be bigger or smaller? Those pieces would be much smaller if I cut this thing into 1,000 pieces. This is only 100. So we know that hundredths are smaller than tenths. Thousandths are smaller than hundredths. Thousandths are the smallest piece we're working with right now. So think about that. If we have 0 ones and 1/10 and 2 hundredths and 3 thousandths. Over here we have 0 ones, we have 0 tenths, we have 2 hundredths and 3 thousandths. Which one of these is bigger? Well, this has 23 thousandths. This has 123 thousandths. So which one do you think would be bigger? This one would be bigger, so we put the jaws facing that way. All right, let's do a couple more. You can either redraw this, or if you're feeling comfortable, you can just write the numbers down here, like I'm going to write them for you. And in here, that's where you're going to put your answer. I know it's the same color. I should probably make that a different color. Okay. What about this one? Which one would be bigger? And I'm going to give you a couple more to try out. I'll make this a different color. And one more. All right, do those 3 problems on your own. Okay, we're going to stop right there because this video is getting really long, but we will be adding on to this page later. So do what you can, and if you have questions, make sure you write them down so that you can ask your teacher, me.